Great morning, great morning, great morning, great morning. Hey, you guys, come on in, come on in, come on in. While you guys are coming in, I'm going to go ahead and share. I thought I had my iPad. I must have left it in the other room. Let me be great today, please. Let me be great. Where is it? Okay. Great morning, great morning. I'm going to go ahead and get started on IG and share. Yeah, I see that. It's like some hair in the way. All right, we're live on IG. We're live on Facebook. We live, y'all. We live. Great morning, April. Good to see you, beautiful. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Hey, here we go. All right. Let me go ahead and share. Y'all help me out. Thank you for sharing, April. Tell Ariel, good morning, Ariel, my little mermaid. All right, let me share. Hey, sis, how you doing? Y'all, I'm sharing from my laptop. Y'all know it takes a little extra when I share from my laptop. So bear with me, but believe me, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Hey. All right. Okay. Hold on. Let me share to these groups. Y'all ready for today? Y'all, it's day 18 of the Forward Focus 21 day fast. Sunday, we finished the fast, and I don't know about you, but God has worked some miracles in my life. I'm so excited about what he's done thus far, and I know for a fact it ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. So I'm excited to see the rest of what he does. People underestimate the power of fasting. And I know that if you didn't grow up in a church or a ministry where fasting was a part of what you did, it's easy to not understand the power and the significance of it. But baby, I'm telling you, if you want to see change in your life, I'm talking about you want to see the hand of God move. Fast and pray. There's some things that only come with fasting and prayer. And I'm not telling you how to fast, but I'm telling you that everybody needs to fast. And this is how significant fasting is. Even in the natural, the world recognizes the benefits of fasting for your health. So that lets you know fasting is supposed to be a part of our life. So when people talk about intermittent fasting, when people talk about using it as a way of losing weight. And see, the Lord knew that our bodies needed fasting. It needed a time where it wasn't intaking hard food or heavy food so that it could process and work out the stuff that's been sitting in our intestines. So I know that people talk about fasting for health, but when you fast for purpose, when you fast with intention, right? Spiritual intention, baby, you can get the benefits of both, but you understand that you are fasting because you need to hear from God. You need deeper connection with God. So I am super excited about what God is doing, how he's doing it. And I know this, y'all, I don't claim to know everything, but I know this. I know the hand of God has moved during this fast. And I know there are going to be significant testimonies that come as a result of this fast. So I don't know about you. I don't know what your testimony has been. I hope that you'll share it. But baby, let me tell you something. This fast ain't no joke. It ain't no joke and it ain't a game. I'm almost through sharing, y'all. If y'all just joined, let us know who's here and where you're tuning in from, and do what? Share. Share. Today we're talking about people, and I believe that this is especially one that needs to be shared. You know, a lot of times, oh, if I do this, this is gonna mess me up. A lot of times, okay, a lot of times we don't understand what people know about us and how people see us. And it affects how we move. And we're going to talk about that today. So I want y'all to stay with me, 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 stay with me now. Okay. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But before I get into that, y'all know what time it is. Time to get alive. All right. So look. Alive is an amazing, incredible liquid proprietary blend juice superfood. Let me tell y'all something. This stuff is fire. Hey. Hey, Dr. Beth, it's fire. And whether you're talking about the regular Alive, which is apple cinnamon, or Alive ABC, which is apple, beets, cherries, both are incredible and have incredible health benefits. Talk about regulating and you're regulating blood sugar, increasing your metabolism, increasing mood and libido, giving you energy, balancing your hormones. I'm talking about beginning to get your immune system to working and moving a little bit better, right? Increases immune system, boost your immune system. It also, there's something else I wanted to say, increases your energy, clarity, focus, right? And helps with, I said it increases your metabolism, so it helps promote weight management, right? So listen, Linda, listen. You need some Alive. So here we go. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Shot, 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 shot. Everybody shake, shake, shake. Shake the devil off. Shake, shake, shake. Shake the devil off. ABC, as easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you, do, re, mi, ABC, 1, 2, 3. Alive. It's you and me. Mwah, 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 mwah. Hey, here we go. Y'all know what we do. Shake it up, pour it up, and drink it up. All right. Let me see. Did that start? IG? Let me see. Yeah, I did. Hold on. So, here's two. They know who you are. They know. My God, my God. My God, my God. My God, my God. Listen, yesterday I was officially up for 24 hours. I took a little nap while we were watching a movie. Took a little nap. Yeah, I did. I knocked it off. Probably slept maybe 20, 30 minutes, right? But I was up for basically 24 hours. And so I had to get myself back on track. But let me tell you the power of these products. Great morning. Let me know who that is. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's real good. Let me tell you about these products, right? So I have been up for 24 hours, and I knew that I was going to have to get some sleep. I was going to have to get some rest to get me. Hey, how you doing? To get some rest, to get my body back on track, right? So I stayed up, right? Because I knew if I went to bed too early, I was going to be thrown all the way off. So I stayed up. When I went to bed, I took my dreaming, 8 sprays of my dreaming, held it for 5 seconds, swallowed, and went to what? Sleep. I woke up this morning, renewed, refreshed, like I didn't feel all sluggish. I didn't feel any of that, ready to go and take on another day, a new day. I got up. I wasn't going to work out. I said, oh, I'm just going to wait. I'll do it tomorrow. And then I was like, no, I'm getting ready to go ahead and do my somatic workout. So I went on and did my somatic workout. And when I finished with you guys, when I finish with you guys, I'm going to the gym. So I'm going to get off by 7:30 so I can go to the gym because we're traveling today. So I'm going to go to the gym, make sure I do that before we leave. Listen, I'm not playing any games. I don't have time to play any games. Listen, my purpose and my destiny is too great and it's too significant for me to play games. So I can't afford to. I just can't afford to do it. So listen, I need y'all to understand these products are powerful and they work. Whether we're talking about our Alive juice or whether we're talking about our sublingual sprays, all of them work. Y'all listen, I did the Alive morning call. We have an Alive morning call every morning at 5 days a week, I think, at 9:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. So I was on there and I was giving my testimony about the products, right? So as I'm talking about it, I talk about, the Forever Young. And I said, listen, I need these products. I said, I'm 57 years old. Like, I need assistance, right? I'm not 20 some years old anymore. And they were like, you're 57. Oh, you look good, baby. That Forever Young, baby. That Forever Young, Forever Young, baby. Got me looking like, what? Who? Do what? So listen, I got to make sure I get that in. And I saw this woman that used this product. Her edges were struggling when she started. You can see a difference in 1 month. By 4 months of using the product, she had edges. I'm just saying what I'm saying. That's what I saw. I saw edges. I said, edges what? Edges come back. So if your edges have been snatched out and you're looking for a way to help your body do what your body's designed to do. And that's the beauty of these products, help your body do what it's designed to do. All right, y'all. So here we go. People, day 18, they know who you are. This is coming from Matthew chapter 21, verses 8 through 10. Let me put on my do not disturb. Okay, I had to make sure it was on. It's on. Okay. Matthew 21, 8 through 10. Most of the crowd spread their garments on the road ahead of him, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. Jesus was in the center of the procession, and the people all around him were shouting, "Praise God for the Son of David. Blessings on the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Praise God in the highest heaven." The entire city of Jerusalem was in an uproar as he entered. "Who is this?" they asked. And the multitude said, "This is Jesus, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee." Let me say this again. The entire city was in an uproar as he entered. "Who is this?" they asked. And the multitude said, "This is Jesus, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee." Matthew 21, 8 through 10. I just read from the New Living Translation. If Jesus' life gives us a prototype or blueprint of what we can expect in life, then I encourage you to pay close attention to people and how they handled him. I always find it interesting that people could see him and the miracles he performed and still doubt him when things got rocky, but they did. And who knows, I might have been one of those people if I were there during those times. But I can tell you this for sure. He knew that they knew who he was. In Matthew 21, Jesus is making what would be referred to as the triumphal entry. He entered Jerusalem for the celebration of the Passover a few days before his crucifixion. The people celebrated him and cheered as he entered into the city on a donkey. They cried out, "Hosanna, Hosanna to God in the highest." They laid down palm leaves for the donkey to walk on as he entered the city. They knew all of the miraculous things he had done and how he had changed the lives of so many people. The stories preceded his entry to the city that day. The text says that the entire city was in an uproar. Think about that. The entire city. Those who did not know who he was asked, "Who is this?" They were trying to find out who this man was riding into the city on a donkey, causing all of this commotion. But the multitude knew. They knew who he was and did not hesitate to let those who didn't know. They said, "This is Jesus, the prophet." While they knew, they only knew in part because he was so much more than just a prophet. He was the Messiah. Jesus went into Jerusalem and turned things upside down, including some tables in the temple. Then the scribes and Pharisees wanted to know not who he was, but who did he think he was, interfering with what was going on in the temple. Pay attention. Right now in your life, there are those who are celebrating your entry, your success, your journey, your ministry, your joys, your life. These are the people. There are other people who want to know, who are you? People will tell them who you are based on who they know you to be. But know that when God begins to use you to flip tables, how things are seen, and life as they have known it, their question will change. They will want to know who you think you are. Where did you get the audacity to show up and do what you did and what you do? You have to learn right now that people know who you are, but they will still end up questioning who you think you are if you do what God tells you to do. People will love you and celebrate you in one moment, in one breath, and the very same people will cry out, crucify them. The moral of the story is that you can never get caught up in people's celebration, rejection, or crucifixion attempts. Just know that they know who you are, at least to some extent. But that can't be your focus or your issue. Stay focused on what God says, on who God says you are. When you do that, then it won't matter who people say or think you are, because you know who God says you are. You all, this devotion today ties into a lot of stuff that has been going on, right? When you are walking out your destiny, when you are doing what it is God has called you to do, there will be some people who celebrate you. They're like, you better go, girl. I know that's right. Do your thing, boy. But then there will also be those, as you begin to do more of what God tells you to do, say more of what God tells you to say, show up the way God needs you to show up, who will say, well, who do you think you are? Aren't you just? Remember that? Who? Isn't that Joseph and Mary's son? Isn't his daddy the carpenter? But what is he doing? How do you think he's going to be performing miracles? Listen, people will operate and treat you like their view of you. But you can't get caught up in that, whether it is celebrating you, rejecting you, accepting you, or crucifying you. You can't get caught up in people. People, even when they know who you are, will try you. And you have to make a decision that your actions won't be based on people, that the work won't be based on people and their response or lack of response to what you've been called to do. Matter of fact, let me put it up. I'm doing the No More Sabotage class this weekend, right? And one of the things I notice is sometimes I'll have a full class and sometimes I'll have a few. But regardless of how many people are present in the class, it does not negate the impact of the class, right? So this is what I've learned, right? I've learned that God always has me ahead of time. I'm always 5 to 10 years ahead of everybody else. You know, everybody got the circle water bottles. I had that 7 years ago. Do you hear what I'm telling you? God always has me ahead of time because I am an innovator. I'm the one that I'm going to get in the early stages of a thing. I'm going to use it when it's just coming out. I'm going to be one of the first people who are aware of it, right? And because of that, I'm always a little ahead. And then everybody else catches up. And then I'm ahead and gone on to something else. Look, don't despise that. Don't despise that. So I'm talking about the No More Sabotage class, right? So the class, everything that God has shown me with this class, he's been very clear. He said, listen, I need you to do this for the church. I need you to do this for ministry. I need you to do this for leaders. I need you to do this to help the body of Christ, to help the kingdom move forward. Because what's happening is people, saboteurs, are showing up. And it's interfering with their ability to effectively complete the assignment that God has for their life, to effectively walk out their purpose. It will make it easier for them to connect some dots, remove some things, make some adjustments if they understand their saboteurs. But guess what? Many people don't want to think they have any. They don't want to think they have any. And they definitely don't want to do the internal work, right? The internal work to remove it, right? Now, look, I take nothing away from the power of God. God is able to do anything and everything. But let me tell you what God told me. This is what he said. He said, listen, I'm giving you these tools so you can help my people do the work in the natural, because they've learned how to do the work in the spirit, but they're not doing the work in the natural. It's slowing them down. And I need them to be able to operate at an accelerated pace, a jump start. I found myself in a place where I personally, me, had started disconnecting from the world, disconnecting from myself, right? Disconnecting from my emotions, disconnecting from my husband, just disconnecting from everything and everyone around me, just disconnecting, not being totally connected. Because some things happened, it triggered some other things, right? And so I went into protection mode, and like a turtle, I began to pull my head in, so my shell could just protect me. And all it was a shell. If you knock on that turtle shell, it ain't gonna make the turtle's head come out. You can flip it over, it's not gonna make the turtle's head come out. And so much like that turtle, I had withdrawn and gone inside, right? I had gone inside, and I didn't even look like I had gone inside to most people. Most people, if you didn't know me, you didn't know that I had disconnected. You didn't know that I wasn't, if you don't know me. Now, those who know me knew something was off. I know they did. They didn't really say anything. Well, they did. They would check on me. I'm fine. I wasn't, right? I lied. I wasn't fine. And we've got to stop normalizing saying I'm fine when you're not. Now, I'm not telling you you got to tell everybody your business, but say, just pray for me. Say something. Don't lie. I lied. I bald-faced, straight up lied. I said I'm fine. I wasn't. Okay? So I discovered that my saboteurs had been activated. My judge started judging me, other people, situations, and circumstances, and was in full attack mode. It triggered the accomplice saboteurs, right? So my stickler had been activated, in extreme. My controller had been activated in extreme. I'm just talking about my saboteurs. My avoider had been activated in extreme. Because you know what? I'm not even getting ready to give this no energy. I ain't even gonna give it no energy. I'm good. I don't want to talk. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with you, right? It ain't personal. It just is what it is, okay? Because I don't want to run the risk of being vulnerable. It's all an attempt to not be vulnerable. See, but you got to know this. We don't want to be vulnerable because we don't know how people are going to respond to us, how they're going to deal with us, what they're going to say. And so rather than run the risk of them saying something that makes us go, we say, okay, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with them. I'm good. But you're not good. You're not good because we're interdependent. We need each other. And when you say, I don't need anybody, it's a lie. It's a lie the enemy has perpetuated to get us to be like that turtle, draw our head into our shell, and go within and not be able to be connected. We are one body with many members. And if a few members begin to disconnect, the body is lacking. The kingdom is limited and it is crippled. And that's what's going on. The kingdom is being crippled. And that's the enemy's goal, is to cripple the kingdom. How does he cripple the kingdom? By dealing with people and making them withdraw, making them feel overwhelmed, allowing their saboteurs to be activated and on steroids. So what do? God reminded me as I was in that place. He said, hey, you need to fix this. Fix it. You have the power to fix it. Fix it. And it ain't got to take no long time. You're in a space where you can do it. Do it. I said, okay, God. So let me deal with myself. I had to acknowledge my judge is activated and it's judging me. And I'm feeling a way about where I am. And I'm feeling a way about what's going on in my life. And I'm feeling a way, right? I'm feeling a way. I'm triggered, right? But listen, we got to recognize what our triggers are and take the power from them. We got to take the power from our triggers. right? But that means you got to acknowledge, oh, this is a trigger, and not put all the work on someone else, but you do the work. Do the work so that when that thing happens, it doesn't trigger you. See, something is only triggering when it activates something. If the thing happens and it doesn't activate something, it is no longer a trigger. All right. Now we know that this can be changed. We know that. How do we know, Dr. Z? We know because psychology has a concept known as conditioning, classic conditioning, right? Classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is when you associate something with a particular response, right? They don't automatically go together. Normally, this thing can happen and it not do anything, right? But once that thing happens and it's been associated enough time with a certain emotion, a certain thought, a certain feeling, a certain activity, then when that thing's happened, that's going to happen, right? They did it. Pavlov did it with dogs. He used the bell. He rang the bell, put out the food. The dog began to salivate. He rang the bell, put out the food, and the dog began to salivate. He rang the bell, put out the food, and the dog began to salivate. He rang the bell, and the dog salivated. See, no longer did the food have to be present for the salivation to be activated. It was activated because the dog thought about the food that was coming, and it began to salivate. The same thing is true with us. We try to make everything so complicated. It's not complicated, and there's science behind it all. So I understand the power of prayer. I get it. Prayer is incredibly powerful. But there's also work that we need to do in the natural. One of the things that used to frustrate me about the church, and I'm just talking about me, right? That used to frustrate me about the church is when I would be going through something, right? And I would be trying to figure out how to navigate it. How do I navigate this? How do I get through this? What do I do now? This is what people would say. Just pray. You don't think I've been praying? You don't think I've laid on my face and I'm still in this? I need help. See, what we often don't understand is it's not that God doesn't answer. We can't receive the answer if our saboteurs are acting up and in the way. It's going to block our mind from understanding what's going on or seeing what God is doing. And the fact that we have this false sense that everybody's going to like us when we get in the church, that everyone's going to get along when we get in the church, the fact that we believe that everybody's here for the same reason when we walk into the church, all of those are deceptions. So that when you get disappointed, and I promise you this, if your focus is people and people's response, if your focus is what people do, if your focus is how people move, you will always get disappointed because it will never be exactly what you wanted to do. Why? Or to be? Because they're people. People are humans. And just like you have saboteurs, they have saboteurs. So you got all these saboteurs in here mingling. And the church might call them demons, spirits, okay? But a lot of that is not spirits, it's saboteurs. It's people's thoughts interfering with their ability to move forward in their life and to see through things through God's eyes, God's lens. So now we all in here, and this is where they talk about the church as a hospital. Now we all in the hospital, in the ER, and we got people coughing, and you doing this, and you trying to protect yourself, and you trying to put your mask on, because why they in here doing all that? They should have gone, they need a special area for them infected people. And the truth is we're all infected. All of us. All of us have saboteurs. They are our great infection. All of us. The judge is the biggest one, and the judge is most active in the church, in the body of Christ, in the kingdom. And it's why we have to deal with these things so that we can remove them, so that we can truly walk out our destiny and fulfill our God-given purpose. Because, yeah, people know who you are. They know who you are. They seen to you. They seen to what you did. They know who you are. But it doesn't matter that they know who you are. It doesn't matter because they're going to find a way if that judge is activated to judge you. And so today, it may be Hosanna, Hosanna, glory to God in the highest. And tomorrow, it might be crucify them. But you, like Jesus, can't be moved by either one. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to think about modern day times. You know, Jesus was sitting at the table with his boys. They've been together, right? They've been walking this, they've been rocking with him. They've been watching him perform miracles. They've seen what he's done. They benefited from his blessings and his miracles. They ate the fish that he multiplied in the bread. So they benefited. They got the extras that was left over, 12 baskets of them, right? So they had plenty of food. They've been with him. They saw him when he called Lazarus forth from the tomb. They saw him when he told them to unwrap it, and Lazarus came forth, and they unwrapped him, and he was alive after being dead for days. They saw all that. They saw it. They saw him cast the demons, the spirits out of the little boy into the pigs, and it ran off. And they said, you know, they said, why, well, Lord, why couldn't we do that? And he said, these kind only come out by fasting and prayer. Do you not know that your ability to believe God's word and stand on it is affected by your saboteurs? If you think, listen to me, I want y'all to hear me because I want y'all to make this connection. If you think, right, your judge says, why would he die for you? Like, your own parents don't even love you like that. Your own daddy ain't even really in your life. Why would Jesus die for you? Come on now, you know that's just a story. Come on, now, he wouldn't do that. And then now you're going to feel like you got to earn his love and his affection the same way you work to try to earn the love and affection of your parents, your siblings, your aunts and uncles, your cousins, your teachers, your friends, your colleagues. The same way you try to earn in your natural life, you try to earn with God. So you do great works. You're always in church. You're always praying. If I just pray more, if I fast more, if I do more, you give, trying to earn something from God that you cannot earn. It is unearnable. It is a gift. It is freely given, and it must be freely received. But we look at it like a debt. The Lord gives us something, he does something for us. Oh, I gotta repay God. I gotta repay God. Like he's a loan shark. God is not a loan shark. I need y'all to know that. I need you to know that. So Jesus on his journey, he's going through, and here it is, these people that have been with him the whole time. They said, Master, teacher. They asked him questions, but there were times when they just didn't get it. When the storm was out and they were on the boat and he was down there sleeping, they woke him up. I said, we're all gonna die. We're gonna perish and you're down here asleep. He said, oh, foolish ones. Oh, ye of little faith. Like, how long I gotta be with you before you get who I am? And as long as you're with me, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. The same ones sat at the table for the last Passover they would have together before he comes back, right? The last one. And he told them, one of you will betray me. Angel number 144. One of you will betray me. They trying to figure out which one. Who is it? 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 Guess what? Guess what? He knew who it was. He knew who it was, and he knew every one of them's response. And the only one that stuck with him was John. Even Peter, the one who said, I'll never leave you, Lord. I won't let anything happen to you, Lord. Even Peter denied him. Even Peter denied him. Peter did. Peter, the one who said, I'll never leave you, Lord. I'll never this, I'll never that. Peter, that same Peter. See, this is why I'm telling y'all. Can't get caught up in people. They know who you are. And even when they know who you are, they can still disappoint you if you think that their response defines you and who you are. Yeah, listen, I've been doing this long enough to know that I'm going to disappoint some people. I am. Eventually, they're going to get disappointed. They're going to be like, I can't believe Dr. V did this. I can't believe Dr. V did that. Yeah, I did. I'm human. I'm going to mess up. I am. Period. The question is not whether or not people will mess up. The question is, will you have the grace and the unconditional love for the restoration Jesus knew Peter would mess up, but listen, Jesus said, I'll build my church upon you. This rock, I built my church upon you. He knew what was going to happen. He knew what Peter was going to do. And when he came back, he reestablished him. Oh, people know who you are. Even if they ask, who is that? They can see. And most of the time, they see better than you do. They know better than you know. And you often represent a threat to them. So their goal is to eliminate the threat. However they do that, like, that's what they do. That's what their goal is. And if you're caught up in the applause of people, you'll be brought down by the boos of people. I don't think anybody understands the power of that more than comedians, right? I remember when I was doing stand-up comedy, and yes, I used to do stand-up comedy. I remember when I was doing stand-up comedy, and I remember I had a show, and I've told this story before. So my show was centered around things in my life, right? I cussed. It was about sex. It was about teaching and being a teacher and the fantasies of the boys while I was teaching. Like, I'm talking about this kind of stuff, right? Relationships. And I did a show, but I didn't know that the church youth group was coming. Now, listen, in most of my shows, I got cheers. People like, ah, yes. Like, I would kill it time after time after time. Do you understand? I'm good. I'm funny, right? And I knew how to make people laugh, right? And I knew the stuff that would make them laugh. Well, this show was the show that made me know I ain't trying to do this full time. I ain't trying to do this. I got booed. And I got booed because I didn't have time to shift my show. I didn't have time to shift my show to the church youth group. Now people booing me because I'm saying this and there's kids in the audience. I didn't tell y'all to bring them kids. Did nobody tell me this was a kiddie show? Nobody let me know that the church kids was going to be in there. I fought the pastor, the youth pastor, they had him there. Listen, he has gone on to be a very well-established pastor in Memphis. But I remember that. Dr. Stacy Spencer, why you brought them kids to the show? Because then I had to try to figure out what in the world am I finna do? Angel number 155. So I did my show, got booed, and I said, look, my name ain't Bill Cosby. I'm not trying to just do clean comedy. I ain't trying to work all that out. That's a lot of work. Clean comedy is work, right? It's much easier to default to things, which is why that's what a lot of people do, right? On those topics, that's why people talk about them, because they're easier, right? And I could do it. I could do it if I put the work in, but I was working on my PhD. I was working on my dissertation. It just was something I always wanted to do, and I took a chance. I said, let me do this. I took a chance, Angel number 144. I took a chance, and I said, I'm going to do it because I've always wanted to do stand-up comedy. And so I did. I did a show. I opened for D.L. Hughley in Lexington, Kentucky at Comedy on Broadway. Like, I worked with Spike Davis and friends. Like, I've been on the stage with some people that we know now in the comedy community. When Comic View first got started and they were doing competitions across the country, I was one of the finalists in the state of Kentucky. So I've done it, right? I've been on the stage. I've done it. I know what it feels like. But I also know I don't want to do that all the time. Now, I don't want to do that all the time. All of that to say this, whether or not I was funny was based on people's perceptions, right? And so it didn't mean I wasn't funny because I got booed that night. It didn't mean I wasn't funny. It didn't even mean that the set wasn't funny. It meant that that audience and the fact that those kids was in there, people couldn't laugh. They couldn't laugh because them kids is in here. Why is she doing that in front of the kids? I didn't tell y'all to bring the kids. Put them in the bed. Why are they here? What they doing? No, this ain't what this is. Did nobody tell me it was if it is? So you can't be moved by the people, by their praise, by their faces. And I believe that God used that to help me to prepare for my role as a prophet. See, prophets can't be moved by people's faces. You can't. You can't be moved by whether people celebrate you or not, whether they say, oh, yes, you're truly a prophet, or they say, oh, that ain't right, that ain't accurate. You can't be moved by it. You got to say what God says say, do what God says do, and keep it moving. So all the rejection that I experienced throughout my life was to prepare me for my purpose and my destiny. All of the times when I felt betrayed by people was to prepare me for my purpose and my destiny. All of the things that I went through, not feeling like my mother loved me, not feeling like my father loved me, feeling like I could never do enough or I could never get it right. All of that was to prepare me to be able to deal with the rejection of people, not getting what I think people should be giving me, right? Because see, you can't be moved by that stuff. You still got to finish the assignment. So here I am now. And I put a post up yesterday talking about my title, like trying to figure out, well, what am I going to call myself, right? What am I going to call myself? Because, I do a lot of things, right? What term could comprehensively cover all that I do, right? So there was some that came up that people tended to like. One of them was, oh, hold on, let me get to it. Okay. One of them was destiny fulfillment strategist. I'm gonna help you get to your destiny. I'm gonna help you fulfill it. And I'm gonna give you strategy to go along with it, right? Another one was specialist in success. Some people like that. Another one was visionary mentor. Another one was life architect, wealth and abundance coach, right? So people began to give me feedback. And if you all didn't give me feedback, go back and do that. Give me some feedback on that. What I'm going to tell you is this, regardless of what I call myself or what others call me, the one thing that I must be certain of, the one title that I must maintain is God's daughter. My baby talking about homie, lover, friend. Homie, lover, friend. Listen, God's daughter. I'm God's daughter. I'm his daughter. You're his daughter or you're his son. We belong to him. And unlike our natural parents, there's nothing that we have to do in order to get his love. It's unconditional. We've gotten his stamp of approval. And before we were formed in our mother's womb, he knew us and knew all about us. Listen, don't get caught up in people. And one of the best ways to do that is to deal with your saboteurs. Because then you, me, we cannot allow what people do and say to move us from purpose and destiny. We'll stop allowing it to trigger our judge and start to, I should have done this, or maybe I should have done that. You didn't do it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And you can beat yourself up about it, but why? Because it is what it is. There was a gift in it. God did something with it. I promise you he did. There's purpose in it. Even when you mess up, there's purpose in it. God is going to use even your biggest mess ups to be a blessing to somebody. So you all go register for this class. You need it. You need it. I need it. That's why I'm teaching it again, because it refreshes my mind. And I had to go back and use these strategies because I was in a place. I'm talking about me. I was in a place. I still came on. I still smiled. I still prophesied. I still preached the word. I still encouraged people. I still uplifted people. I still did all of those things. But I personally was in a place that was not good. And I had to capture those thoughts and cast them aside. See, what we're teaching is what the word of God says that we're to do with our thoughts. But when you don't know how to do that, it's overwhelming. And most of us don't know how to do it. And even if we know how to do it, we tend to go to our first response, that which we know. Go register at bit.ly/no more sabotage, bit.ly/ no more sabotage. You can register for the regular class or the VIP. The VIP comes with a 1 hour individual session with me that's worth $125. I charge $125 for a 50-minute session, one-on-one session. So get that VIP so you can get that. And that's $190 for the class and the 1 hour session. Okay, so you get all of that. I just want to encourage you. Angel number 155. Let me look these up. 144 and 155. I want to encourage you to stay focused, stay on the course that God has you on. I'm gonna do 144 first. Angel number 144 is a sign that the angels are sending you a message of love, support, and encouragement. It is a reminder to stay focused on your goals, maintain a positive mindset, and take action to manifest your desires. I just want to encourage you. Hold on, let me look at 144. Let me do that one first. Message of love, support, and encouragement. Stay focused, stay positive, and manifest those, work on your goals, and manifest those dreams that you have. Do that. Do the work, because it requires work. Angel number 155, baby. Come on, somebody. Angel number 155 brings forth a plethora, that means a whole lot, of positive aspects into your life. It signifies personal growth, adaptability, and embracing change. This number urges you to trust in yourself and have confidence in your abilities. Wow. It's a sign to make changes in your relationship if you have problems. It's associated with major life changes, a sense of personal freedom, and good news. I don't know about you, but I know that for me, I'm ready to see all of what God desires to do in my life, to really walk out the purpose that He ordained for me before I was formed in my mother's womb. I know it's great, right? And so it requires me to stay focused, stay the course, stay positive, be encouraged. You got this. You can do it. But it helps when you learn how to get those thoughts, recognize them as the lies that they are, and replace them with the truth. When you remove those negative thoughts, right, you increase the power of the word in your life. The word is able to cut through much quicker and with greater force. This is why it's imperative that we understand what do I do and how do I do this? There's always a science. There's always a science. God is the master scientist. Come on, think about it. He created the whole human body, all of those intricacies, huh? The number of red blood cells, white blood cells, the number of blood vessels, and how the heart works, and the number of, like all of this, the brain, like all of this. God did all that. You think He just said, oh, let me just poof. No, it was a science to it. It was a science to it. So when people say God and science don't go together, God is the creator of science. Okay, listen, y'all, look, I pray that this word has blessed you. I pray that you got something out of it. Go register for the class. If you've taken it before, you might want to do a refresher. Hit me up and I'll tell you how you can do that. And if you just want to sow a seed, you want to sow a seed into the life of the woman of God, you absolutely can do that by going to Cash App $DRV Johnson 777, Cash App $DRV Johnson 777. Know that I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. Be blessed. Mwah.